Thank you. I have the honor to be the last speaker for today, before we go for a drink, so I'm between you and the beers. I will keep it short, therefore, and I will want to introduce you to a new kid on the block, Knative. Anyone heard of Knative before? Worked with it? No, not that many. Well, good. Today we talked about serverless. Serverless is all about, for me, containers and microservices. And in all its different appearances, different providers, as you see here. And serverless has been created to make life easier for developers. Developers focus on coding and don't want to be bothered and don't worry about the underlying operating system and infrastructure and so on. They just want to code. And as you see, we have, I don't know if this is an exhausted list of providers. It means different providers, slightly different structures, and some differences in deployments. And okay, don't need it. Thank you. And with that, we've seen it before, and there is a time to have a framework to ease in the pain for that and to seamlessly operate between all those environments. And that made Google, who created Knative and launched it in 2018, to build, deploy, and manage modern serverless workloads. So Knative is installed on top of Kubernetes, is platform independent, and runs your serverless applications just on top of Kubernetes. And for that, Knative brings 3 new products: the build, the eventing, and the serving to Kubernetes. Build is a process of going from source code to containers directly into Knative. And eventing allows you to control the triggering and information passing between all those services. And the serving component is built on Kubernetes, of course, and Istio to do the routing, scaling, and also scale to 0, which means serverless. And that's when zooming in on the serving resource, yeah, it's pretty nice. And Knative brings, as you can see, some functions into it. The components that are Kubernetes custom resource definitions. It's a mouthful, so I have to read it. And these objects are used to define and control how your serverless workloads behaves on the cluster. The service resource manages the whole life cycle of your workload. It controls the creation of objects to ensure that your app has a route, a configuration, and a new revision for each update of the service. So you can have more than one revision under a service. The route resource maps a network endpoint to one or more divisions, and you can manage the traffic in several ways, including fractional traffic and named routes, A/B testing, and so on. The route is really the Istio component, and a revision is an immutable running environment or container in your environment. And when you deploy a new service or a new version of your service, you create a new revision. And revisions can live next to each other. To get started with Knative, this is the only URL you have to remember. Nothing more, nothing less. Just start over there. There's our nice tutorials on it. And I wish you happy coding with that. Thank you.